Today I'm going to be talking about a movie called Manichitrathazhu. Manichitrathazhu, 1993, called The Ornate Lock also. It's a Indian movie. The language in the film is Malayalam. I'm not too keen on Indian languages. I know there's like Hindi, Tamil. This one's Malayalam, and it came out in India. It's 157 minutes long, and it's directed by someone named Fazil. I just watched it. It's a comedy, horror, thriller, mystery movie, and it's concerning a young couple, Ganja and Nakulan. They arrive at the ancestral home called Madampally of the latter, hailing from a family that follows tradition and superstitious. Nakalam's uncle Tampi objects to the couple's idea of moving into the allegedly haunted mansion, which Nakulan ignores. The couple moves in anyway, following which seemingly supernatural events begin to happen. So I just viewed it. I've been meaning to watch this for some time, and spawned multiple remakes and sequels, and was just recently re-released. The original version in 1993, and in 2024 again in theaters in India. So the movie really picks up when this doctor, Dr. Sunny, shows up. He's got these really funny outfits, and they're always changing. He's like a hard guy to pigeonhole. You think he's one type of person one second, and then he's another, and then another, and then someone else comes up and describes him as someone else. So the actor who plays him, Mohantal. So I'd like to look him up. It's just one name. Probably some kind of star. I mean, he's got some singing bits in the movie too. But he doesn't look like he'd be famous. He's not like got traditional good looks, and he's fairly chubby and unassuming. But that would be wrong to unassume his talents, because he's in charge of this movie, which apparently was massively famous in Malayalam, India. Not that I know a whole lot about that part of India, but supposedly it's the most famous movie ever made there and successful. And that came out in 1993. So that's 93, 2013. It's like 30 years ago. So it's I was wondering, whenever I watch one of these Indian movies, it kind of reminds me back when I was in the metal in my younger days. It's like I'd hear so much hype about it, and then you start watching it or listening to it, and you question, is it worth the hype? But it's the characters. This guy is like the star of this, and he shows up, and they're saying people are crazy, but all these apparitions are showing up at night. You hear dancing, singing, voices. People are being attacked mysteriously, and he's the guy to show up and try to counteract all that. So you couldn't find anyone better. The characterization, the writing of this person, and the actor playing him, in my opinion. So Dr. Sunny Joseph, and he shows up, and there's this story, Spadevi, one of the Sridevi, one of the daughters. They're claiming that she must be secretly mental and is the source of these problems rather than the ghost. So the doctor's kind of shown up to show that there's no such thing as all this mystical stuff, even though he's starting to see it himself. And it's that this one girl is causing it all. So that's a recurring motif or whatnot throughout the rest of the film, throughout a large part of the mid-section of the film especially. And Dr. Sunny Joseph, he's flirting with this girl too. It's like he has the hots for her, but he's also there to do a job. The whole family just kind of like watching him do his thing. So some trivia bits about the movie. It's often regarded as the most popular movie in Malayalam cinema. It became the highest grossing Malayalam film in history to that date. The film ran more than 365 days in theaters. That's pretty amazing. The cast includes 6 national award winners: Mohanlal, Nadumi Venu, Suresh Gopi, Shobana Tilakan, and KPAC Lalitha. The first Malaysian movie to be released in BCD format. And film was made in Hindi as Bulayan Ulaya in 2007, directed by Priyadarshan, who was one of the assistant directors of this film. I find that to be very interesting, as that's the movie that actually got me to know about this one, as I was looking up the trivia on that one online, and it said it's a remake of this. So I was gonna watch that, but I figured why not watch the original first, since I have the benefit of hindsight here. And I didn't know that there's that connection where the guy who was an assistant director on this later on, many years later, 15 years later, decided to make it himself. And I know that spawned a couple sequels in and of itself too. So because of the foreign nature of this film, I decided to take some notes. So let's see if I can remember some bits. But the camera angles, I liked how refreshing they were. There's a scene where a girl gets knocked out and you see her from the side. They pick her up and then the camera inverses to another room and they lay her down on the bed. So it's like her head's to the right, pick her up, cut to a bed, and then they lie her down, lying on the left side. So from the side. So I liked how that was put together. There's a reflective fan. You see a mirror like in the middle of the fan, and then a girl's face shows up. And the fan's off, and then she presses the on button, it turns on, and as the fan like spins to the right, the camera pans left. So I liked how that all worked out. During the big musical bit with the doctor later on, there's a 360-degree spin around him, and it's like a beautiful sunset, and he's singing, and it's like the latter part of the song, and that was just pretty awe-inspiring, especially on a bigger screen. The zooms, there's lots of zooms, also reminds me of martial arts films, but these zooms are slow and more controlled and are more elegant, which is like the snap zoom is what's famous in martial arts, but these are the slow zooms and methodical. They're well integrated in the film. After the doctor's singing bit, it's just this epic song, and you like forgot there was even a musical then, and then the song concludes like, man, are we even able to get back into the movie? And you just see a car from inside looking out the windshield, and the guy just dumps a whole bucket of water on it, and it's slowly dripping down, and then he starts wiping it off. It's like you're wiping you back into the reality of the movie. I really liked how that was put together. And then on top of that, the doctor's outfits. He was from America, and it's just got these outrageous outfits. Every scene is almost like, what's he gonna be wearing now, So besides that, the floor inverse to bed, camera cuts, yeah. So yeah, some of the notes maybe on the character, or I'll just read through some of the characters' names if I can pronounce them. Desapam, Mr. Upathan, Mrs. Basura, Ganja / Nagavali, she's possessed later. Kantra, Gantha, Mr. Gantha, Mr. Tampa Gantha, Ganja, Nakulami, Jayashri, Ali, Aunt, Uncle Unathan, Sridhari, Desampa Kuti, and Dr. Suni. It's all got Indians' names, obviously. I'm garbling some of them, but they all fit together in the movie and all have their own little personas, and some of them are more important than others, obviously, like other movies, but it seems like a weightier cast than some that I've been accustomed to. Manichitrathazhu is the Ornate Lock, is a sacred spirit. It seems like the movie was inspired by the Evil Dead movies, obviously a lot of others too, but there's a first-person perspective cameras and footsteps and jangling chains and visceral feel. Not all the time, but whenever the ghost comes out, and it's like kind of scary. It's like spooky. I watched it during the middle of the day. I'm sure at night it would be a lot more spooky, but it has a good atmosphere throughout, and it's exotic locale, especially for American audiences. And that's why another thing, like the martial arts movies, they're always exotic locations. So it has that feel. It's warm. India is a bright country, and you have a lot of superstitions. So it's got a lot of variety, and I think it's refreshing for people if you're getting overwhelmed or overburdened with the American popcorn culture, fast food culture, and want to try something different. Okay, so that's my thoughts and opinions on Manichitrathazhu, aka The Ornate Lock, came out in 1993. It's a fantasy, horror, thriller, mystery, comedy, all of the above, and some more than others, some at certain times, some at other times. It's a wild movie, it's a wonderful movie, and it's a incredibly performed and acted movie as well. You got to wrap your mind around the Indian filmmaking style, but if you can get a feel for them after watching a few of them, this is one of the winners. So far from what I've been watching, they've all been winners, but this is a little above the crowd, so definitely check it out if you want to see a movie with demon possessions and comedy and fantasy and musical bits. So it's directed by, let me see, the director Fazil. Like to see more of his stuff, and maybe I'll get around to some of that. But for now, this is Nicholas on film.
Hello, I want Dr. Sunny here.
ലോകപ്രസിദ്ധനാ തനി രാവണൻ 10 തലയാ ഇവന് പിടിച്ച് പൂട്ടിയിടണം. It is incurable. പത്രവിധി പ്രകാരം ചിത്രപ്പൂട്ടിട്ട് പൂട്ടിയിരിക്കുന്ന സ്ത്രീകളാണ് അവിടെ. ശബരിമല ശാസ്താവാണ്, ഹരിഹര സുതനാണ് സത്യം.
Over here, boy.
ഇത് ചെയ്തവനെ ഞാൻ പൂട്ടും.
Over here. I almost got you. Until next time.